Hi everyone, I'm the plant propagator and welcome to my channel. Today I'm pretty excited. I have two first blooms on these two orchids. And they're great and they're similar kind of, but we'll get to that in just a little bit. Before we get going today, I do want to thank you. I'm coming upon a kind of a milestone on my channel, and I'm pretty close to 5,000 subscribers. And I started my channel a few years ago, and I was just happy to be able to share information with you. And I've been accumulating subscribers, and it's been great. I just really enjoy doing this. From my background as a university professor, I like teaching. I like sharing information, and I hope you are enjoying receiving that same information. In addition, if you're interested in subscribing to my channel, you can subscribe to it, but there's another level of participation in my channel, and that is as a member. So if you go through things a little farther, you can click on the appropriate links, you can subscribe, but you can also join as a member of my channel, and there is a fee associated with that. But what you get with that is you get members only videos, you get access to certain things, certain information, but also certain deals and certain other things that I make available through my channel. So if you're interested, give it a try. There is a cost associated with it, but I'd love to have you as a member on my channel. And you can learn more things. I have members. I have a kind of a backlog. If you're not a member, I have a backlog of members only videos, so you can take a look at that, and you can see the new members videos as they come out. Okay. Let's get back to these guys. What are these? So these are two first blooms. They have never bloomed for me before. They're not exactly new hybrids, but they're not that old either. So let's start with this one right here. This one I purchased, I think maybe about a year ago from RF Orchids, and this is Chomthong Fancy, and the cultivar is Sunset. And this is a cross between, one of the parents is Haadyai Delight. And so it's interesting. So Chomthong, the first part of this word, it's not two words, this Grex, this name. Chomthong Fancy, the first part of this is a province that is in Thailand. It's just below Chiang Mai. And there's a lot of really outstanding orchid breeders and cloners and everything in Thailand. And most of them are in Bangkok, but this was named for a region, I think, that is outside of Chiang Mai, that is not really that close to Bangkok. I've been to Chiang Mai. I've been to the orchid market there, and it's pretty neat. Anyway, so this is a nice, interesting cross. It is from again some Thai orchid breeders, and this is my first flower. I do have an old flower spike on here, but I think the flowers, when they came out of it, the blooms did not open. This is you can tell from the similarities between these that they are similar type backgrounds, and the reality of it, and we'll get to this one in a little bit, is they're cousins. Actually, they might be stepsisters. They have one of the Haadyai Delight is a parent of this one, and you can see some of the similar markings on them. But this is a really nice yellow flower that has a huge frilly lip. And has some secondary colors in the petals and in the lip of this plant. Both of these are intensely fragrant, and they're really nice orchids. The one thing that's interesting about this is that that this Chomthong Fancy is, even though it wasn't, I think it was registered maybe in 2015, so not that long ago, this is the parent of a lot of hybrids. So I think this has been used, this has been picked up and used by a lot of people in their breeding program. So I think I'm probably going to harvest the Cattleya. I don't know if I'm going to pollinate onto this flower, but I'm going to use this in some of my crosses. This is just really a great big flower, intensely fragrant, and again similar to this because they're related. They have the same parent. Okay, over to this one. And again, this is from RF Orchids, and this one right here is from Saroa Orchids, and both of these are from growers that are on the east coast of Florida. So I visit both these guys the same day when I went over there actually to give an orchid talk at one of the local orchid societies on the other coast. Anyway, back to this one. I bought this this plant, and this one on the label, this says Cattleya Haadyai Delight times Tainan City, and I either had or have Tainan City. I'm not sure if it's with me anymore. But again, so same parent on both of these. This is also, and you can tell because the flowers look so similar. I bought this plant from Saroa Orchids, and when I first picked it up, I brought it home and I added it to the catalog that I keep on my phone of my orchids, and I was disappointed because I already have this same cross. So this cross, when you look at it, is, I got to remember it now, Buranapan Nikom, Nikom. So this is Buranapan Nikom, and I already had it, but I didn't recognize it because I didn't recognize the flower. I know what all my flowers look like, and I keep records and collections of my flowers, but I didn't have the picture that they showed of this flower wasn't the same as the Buranapan Nikom that I have in my collection. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a video of this flower. I'm actually going to put just images side by side of this flower and my other Buranapan Nikom that I have, and so you can see that those are actually siblings. Those are from the same cross, but the flowers look different, and this is what happens when you make certain types of hybridization, certain types of crosses. It's the reason if you have a brother or sister, it's the reason you don't look exactly like your brother or sisters, because you get an intermingling of genes, and they're going to look similar to the parents, but they're going to look dissimilar also. And that's why many breeders, what they do is they cross very similar flowers. I tend to not to do that because I like to be surprised and get really a variety of different flower types anyway in there. Anyway, from this Buranapan Nikom, this opened, and I was pleased that it didn't look like the one that I currently have in my collection. I would surprised that it isn't blooming the same time, but that's not necessarily the case also. I like this flower and I like this plant because what's going on, it's off the camera, you can't see it, but it's got, on the first bloom on this, there are 2 flowers here, and there are 2 flowers that aren't quite open here. So, and it's a small pot in its first bloom, but this thing is doing, this plant is doing really well, and it's going to have four flowers on it. The fragrance is very, it has this is a typical Cattleya, sweet Cattleya fragrance that's associated with this, with actually both of these flowers. They're going to smell a little bit better early in the day. This one is not as fragrant because it just opened yesterday, and these other two blooms that are on here just opened today. So, and I'm probably going to use this in my crosses. All right, these are again both from the breeders, and the cloning and everything was in Thailand. I'm going to be using these using the genetics of these plants to make my own hybrids, and that's what I've been doing. I don't name my orchids after after provinces in Thailand. I give them other names. My orchids are also going to be pretty as diverse as some of these are, because I try to make wide hybridizations. I hope they're as beautiful as these are, but I don't know whether they're going to be or not. But I like making crosses. I might like mingling of genetics that you get from making these crosses. It's all a lot of fun. This flower, I should say, the flower on this is, this is really nice. So this has some dark, and I like it when you have a dark lip color that's different from the sepals and petals on this. So this has a real, and I think this flower, you can see this flower here is pretty big, and I think this flower, because this opened a short time ago, I think that as the flower opens a little bit more, it may look a little bit bigger. But this is the only flower on this plant, and there's 4 flowers on this plant. So maybe as this plant gets bigger, the flowers itself will get just a little bit bigger, not too much. But this is a really nice flower because it has such really nice dark purple coloration on the lip, a little bit lighter petals and sepals, which makes for striking flowers, which I really like. Okay, that's all I have for you today. I do have a lot of other orchids, a lot of repeat blooms. My next video is probably going to be a repeat bloom on some of the orchids in my collection. I've got dendrobiums blooming, I've got vandas blooming, I've got cattleyas blooming, and so we'll take a look at some of the other orchids that I have in my collection that are blooming right now. I wanted to share both of these with you because they are their first blooms, and I'm pretty excited about them. All right, that's all I have for today. I hope you enjoyed my video. If you did, and you want to keep on seeing them, it would help me out if you can click on like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you're not already a subscriber. All right, that's all I have to you again today. I hope you enjoyed it, and happy propagating.